Hello guys, welcome to Yoga with Orla. I'm Orla and I hope you enjoy your practice today. If you want to lie down, make yourself comfortable and close your eyes and we will begin. So you're just centering yourself here in practice this morning. You can place your hands over your stomach and just start to breathe deeply. Deep inhale through the nose, feel the belly rise, and exhale, the belly goes down. So connecting with the breath here this morning and scanning through the body to see if you can release any tension or stress that you might have been holding. Really thinking now into the jaw, into the sides, the neck, the head, down into the shoulders, releasing them a little bit more, to the elbows, and the chest, to the hands that are on your stomach, feeling them release with every in-breath, down into the hips, the glutes, back of the legs and hamstrings, quads, knees, ankles, feet. Just scanning through the body here this morning. Maybe you just rolled out of bed. See if you can let go of any of the stress from yesterday or the past week and really focus on today being a new day. And thank yourself for getting up this morning to practice. Your body will thank you for it. So really focusing in on the breath now. Deep inhale, deep exhale. You can bring your hands down by your side, away from the stomach if they were there. And on the inhale, I want you to lift the hands up to the ceiling. If you've got space, maybe behind you on the inhale. And then exhale, hands come down by your side. So you're just linking the movement and the breath here, inhaling the arms up, stretching up, and exhaling, the hands come down. So if you just join, still lying down on your mat, focusing on the breath, inhaling those arms up, and exhaling those hands all the way down. Using this as research to see, is one hand reaching up before the other or reaching down before the other? And again, calming the mind with deeper, longer breaths. Lovely. Once you get down, you're going to come around, roll to your right hand side and push yourself up to a nice seated position. So you can use a cushion underneath you or a blanket if you have one to prop yourself up a little bit taller. And once we're here, just beginning by rolling the shoulders back, nice and easy. Not forgetting your breath here, and see if you can imagine a string pulling the top of your head so you're sitting a little bit taller. So your sit bones are grounded down into the cushion or the mat or the blanket beneath you. And you've got a nice kind of straight spine here. So rolling the shoulders the other direction if you haven't changed already. And just waking them up this morning, letting go of any tension you might have had from the week. If you're over a laptop, maybe you've been crunched over quite a lot, and just see if you can open up in those shoulders now. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. And then bringing the shoulders all the way up to the ears and gently exhale, lowering them all the way down. Looking over your right shoulder now to begin with, just stretching the neck here. And you can have a play if you want to bring the chin down towards the shoulder or bring the chin up towards the ceiling, looking up. Just having play on the right hand side, seeing how everything feels. And then coming back to center when you're ready, looking over the left hand side this time. So maybe one side is tighter than the other. Again, having a play here, bring the chin down towards the shoulders or bring the chin to look up towards the ceiling. And just seeing, having a little play how it's all doing today. And bringing the head back to center. We're going to bring the chin down towards the chest this time. So looking down, chin towards the chest. And just going as far as you feel you can. Remembering deep inhale, deep exhale. Bring the head to center now, and looking up towards the ceiling this time. Looking up, stretching the front of the neck here, and then coming back to center. And now just gently using all those movements, we're gonna do some gentle circles. So you can start with the head going down, then really slowly bring it to the side, looking up, over to the other side and down, and going the other direction. One side, looking up, just really gentle circles here with the head, with the neck, and slowing down, or if there's anywhere that feels really crinkly or really tight, just maybe pausing there for a second to feel it and see if you can release any more with your exhale. And when you're ready, coming back to center again. Bringing the hands down by your side. We're going to inhale those hands up, reaching up, stretching up, interlocking the thumbs here. Inhale, stretch, and then exhale. See if you can get those shoulders away from the ears, ground down the sit bones, belly button towards the spine. Deep inhale, and then exhale, release those hands down. And we're going to float the hands here a few times. So we're inhaling the hands up, reaching up, looking up maybe, and exhaling those hands down. And when you're exhaling the hands down, think of those arms going through mud or through something heavy. So there's resistance in the arms. Inhaling up, looking up, maybe stretching, and then exhaling, remembering that abdominal connection, belly button towards the spine, sitting a little bit taller. And one more time, inhaling those hands all the way up, reaching up, stretching up, and exhaling them all the way down. This time, keep your right hand on the mat and stretch your left hand up into the ceiling, or up towards the sky, wherever you are. And you can stay here if you like, or if you want to go a little bit further, you can start to walk that right hand out along the mat, coming into a side stretch. But make sure that the left sitting bone and the right are both still on the ground, or still in touch with the blanket. So you don't want to lift up too much. You want to make sure that they're staying nice and grounded. And once you're here, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe bringing some movement into it if you like. Maybe looking up towards that hand in the air, or down towards the hand on the mat. Just seeing what feels good for you this morning. Deep inhale here, and deep exhale. On your next inhale, walking that right hand a little bit closer towards the body, and the left hand stretches back up in the air again. And then gently lower that left hand towards the mat. And we just do the same on the other side. So the right hand stretches up, reaching up. See if you can make a little bit more space in the spine. And then maybe stay here, or maybe you start to walk the left hand out along the mat for a side stretch. Deep inhale here, and deep exhale. Again, making sure that that right sitting bone is still connected to the mat, or the blanket, or the cushion. And maybe looking up towards the hand in the air, or down towards the hand on the mat. Maybe you're trying to look underneath that armpit, and that can open you up a little bit more here, if you like. Deep inhale here, deep exhale. And then when you're ready, gently inhaling, that right arm stretches back up, the left hand walks a little bit closer towards you, and then the right hand comes all the way down. Great. So now we're going to come over to a tabletop position. So if you want to place your hands out in front, and you can roll over the legs, or I'm just going to bring those legs behind me and come to tabletop. So for some of you, again, you might want to have that blanket or the cushion underneath your knees to give you a bit more support. And then making sure that the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. To begin with, thinking of Hasta Bandha, which is hand lock, you're spreading those hands evenly into the mat. Thinking of all four fingers pressing down, and the thumb, and the inside, the palm of your hand, or underneath the knuckles, is pressing down as well. Then once we're here, you feel like you've got a stable position, we're going into some cat and cow. So we're inhaling, looking up, belly lowers towards the mat, tilting the pelvis. And then exhale, curling through the spine, chin towards the chest, pressing into those hands, tilting down. Inhaling, looking up, rolling those shoulders back, looking up, belly button towards Mat, and then exhale, chin towards the chest, working through the spine here, tilting the pelvis, belly button comes up towards the spine. Inhaling, looking up, and again, you can go at your own time, your own pace here if you like. If you want to go a little bit slower than me or a little bit faster maybe. Just inhaling to go up, exhaling down, and trying to work through the spine here. See if you can go a little bit slower to make a little bit more space each time. Great. And then now maybe bringing the knees a little bit wider, coming back to kind of a neutral position in between the two. And you're just going to inhale forward and then exhale, bringing that bum or the hips towards the heels on the exhale. So inhale, moving forward. We're just rocking gently on the wrists here, so don't go too far. Exhale, coming back. Working with your breath, inhaling deeply forward. And exhaling, coming back. Remember the belly button to spine connection here. Inhale deeply, coming forward, pressing into those hands. And exhaling, moving back. So you're just waking up the hips here as well. Bring some movement. Great. So then letting go of the cushion, or that might have been underneath you, and pressing into those hands. We're just going to lift the knees here. So we're playing a little bit and working those abdominals. You want to tuck the toes. We're just lifting up an inch or a few centimeters. Deep inhale, and then exhale, belly button towards the spine. Lift those knees up a little bit from the mat. You can come down whenever you feel like it's too much to rest. Or if you're working a little bit harder here, just staying up. 1, 2, 3, and gently lower down. So if you're going too high, then you might not feel it. So make sure you're just hovering. And we're going to try that again. So deep inhale, and then exhale, belly button towards the spine, and lift the knees just a few centimeters away from the mat. Holding here, pressing down into those hands, firing up the abdominals, waking them up this morning. And holding for 3, 2, 1, gently lowering down. This time we're going to lift our hips up into the air for our first downward dog of the day. Pressing into those hands, hips lift. Deep inhale here, deep exhale. Keep the knees bent as much as you need to. Looking in between the legs or towards the feet. And maybe start to pedal out the feet here, bending one knee a little bit deeper than the other, trying to straighten the other leg. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Making sure the shoulders are rolling away from the ears. Maybe look up towards the hands and see if it feels good for you to make those hands a little bit wider. See if you can try that. Maybe you want to have a micro bend in the elbows. Try that out today and see if it feels good. Deep inhale here, deep exhale in your downward dog. And then really gently bend the knees as much as you can and start to walk the hands back towards the feet. So slowly the heels should come back down onto the mat. And we're at a forward fold at the back of our mats. Bend the knees again deeply here. And then gently start to bounce the legs. Keeping the hands down by your sides or floating down like a rag doll. Just bouncing those knees, bouncing the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Great. Then grabbing hold of the elbows. And you're just going to start to sway from side to side. So inhaling to the right hand side and exhaling back to center. Inhaling to the left hand side and exhaling back to center. Remembering that belly button to spine connection. And maybe you feel it here in the lower back area. Maybe you're feeling it in the back of the hamstrings and the legs. Maybe a little bit further up the spine. Just concentrating and really focusing in on where you're feeling it today. And then gently letting go of the elbows, lowering the arms, shake the head yes a couple of times, shake the head no. And gently giving a generous bend to the knees, start to roll up like a rag doll through the spine. So your head is the last thing to come up. Really gently, really easily working through the spine. Once you're up, rolling the shoulders back. And then deep inhale, stretch those hands up, reaching up. First big stretch of the day. And exhale, lower those hands down by your sides. Lovely. Then roll the shoulders back here, shake the hands, shake the knees. Give everything a nice little shake out this morning. Waking the whole body up. Bringing the hands down by your side now. We're just going to sway from side to side. So we're looking over the right shoulder to begin with. Hands come to the right. And then coming back to center over the left-hand side. And maybe going a little bit faster now. Just twisting in the spine this morning. Inhaling and exhaling, moving from side to side. Maybe letting go of the breath, not thinking too much about it. And letting the body just flow. Maybe going a little bit faster here. Maybe every time you look over the left or the right shoulder, you're looking a little bit further, twisting a little bit more. Waking everything up. You're also working the abdominals here. So feel good about that too. And then gently easing off, slowing down, and coming back to center. Once you're here, once you reach center, putting the hands on the hips, maybe taking a wider stance, and start to circle out those hips. Circling one way, and then gently circling the other direction. Going as slow or as fast as you like here. Just waking those hips up this morning. Coming back to a nice center, and we're going to pick up the right foot. Just gentle circles with the right foot here. You can keep the toes on the mat if you don't want to focus on balancing too much, or just if you're getting into the practice, I suppose, circling the ankle one way and circling the other way. And then gently placing that right foot down onto the mat, picking the left foot up, gentle circles one way and circling the other way. And then placing that foot down again. Lifting up all 10 toes so the weight goes back into your heels, and then slowly see if you can one by one place those toes back on the mat. It's a challenge for some of us. And then pick up the toes again once they're all down, and try one more time. Baby toe first, second, middle toe, and then last big toe. Then gently go in the other direction, picking up the heels, bring the weight forward and rising up like a ballerina or a dancer onto those toes, and then lowering them down with control if we can. If not, it's okay. Inhaling up onto those feet, onto the balls of the feet, and exhale, gently lowering down. Great. Coming to the tops of your mat if you're not there already. I'm just going to start with our first sun salutation of the day. So you can have your feet together if you like, or a little bit further apart. You're just doing what works for you, what feels good. Grounding down into those feet. So we've picked up the toes, we've picked up the heels, we felt the weight in both directions. Now we really want to feel an even distribution of the weight. Thinking of the hips here, thinking of the back, the spine. So we want to zip up the front, Uddiyana Bandha, which is the pulling up block, which engages our abdominals. We want to think of them engaged. Maybe for some of us, I know for me, I can have quite a bend here in the back with my bum sticking out. So I want to think of tucking in a little bit. And maybe you do too, but everyone is different. So you're doing what works for you. You're thinking of the posture, so opening up in the shoulders here. Grounding down into the feet, and then like a string pulling your head up. So you're going, spreading in both directions, if that helps. Hands down by your side, Tadasana or Samastiti. Deep inhale, hands come up, reaching up, stretching up. Then we exhale, bend the knees, and hands come down either side of our legs or onto our shins, onto the thighs, whatever works for you. Then we inhale, look up, halfway lift. And we exhale, belly button towards the spine, head goes down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Now spreading the fingertips into the mat or the hands into the mat if you want to bend the knees a little bit more. Pick up that left foot and bring it to the back of the mat, so you're in a high lunge to begin with. Then maybe grounding down in the hands, or if you have two blocks beside you or books, anything to help that can help. Picking up that right foot to bring it to join the left. So you're in a high plank here now. Deep inhale here, deep exhale, firing up those abdominals this morning, holding here. If it's too much, lowering the knees to the mat. Deep inhale, and then exhale, gently bring the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes, and slowly bring head or chin, chest all the way down. Once you're down here, rolling those shoulders back, inhale, looking up for a gentle cobra, using the back, and then exhale, lowering back down. Next inhale, tucking those toes, maybe coming through tabletop, pushing up, and gently bring yourself to downward facing dog. Keeping those knees generously bent here if you like. Maybe bringing the hands towards the feet or the feet towards the hands so you've got a shorter position. Maybe you want to still work on pedaling the legs. Think of that chest going down towards the front of the thighs. See if that helps you. Your gaze or your drishti is in between the legs. For those of you working on straightening those legs, think of the heels grounding down, pushing down towards the mat or into the mat. Deep inhale here and exhale, belly button towards the spine. Again, for some of you, you might want to keep those knees bent. You're just doing what feels good for you. Deep inhale here, deep exhale. And then inhale, looking up in between those hands. And we're going to walk, step, jump, or hop to the front of the mat. So for those of us who want to walk, bend the knees, really bend them, and start to walk one foot at a time towards the front. So our feet should be in between our hands here. And then we inhale, look up, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold a little bit deeper. Then we inhale, coming all the way up, reaching up, stretching up. And then exhale those hands down by your sides. So we're going to do that again. So making sure that your feet are grounding down again. You can have those feet together or apart. Remembering the posture, shoulders away from the ears, opening up in the front of the body, belly button towards the spine. Inhale those hands, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come down by your side, maybe on the thighs, on the shins, or on the mat. We inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold a little bit deeper maybe. Pressing the fingertips or the hands into the mat. Gently pick up that right foot and bring it to the back of the mat. So we're in a high lunge on the right side. Then gently bring the left foot to join the right, so we're in a high plank. Holding here, deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, making space, and then exhale, gently lower those knees towards the mat, untuck the toes. And bring yourself down so chin and chest are coming down onto the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, look up, gentle cobra, exhale, lower down. Pressing into those hands, untucking the toes, coming through tabletop to push those hips up into the air for downward facing dog. You can bend the knees here if you like, keep them bent, or maybe working on straightening them. For some of us, you might want to walk the feet a little bit closer towards the hands. Have a look up at the hands here. Maybe you want to make them a little wider towards the outside of the mat. Spreading down into those 4 fingers and thumb. And then bringing the drishti or the gaze back towards the feet. Making sure those feet are hip width distance. So maybe you want to step them out a little bit wider. Deep inhale here, rolling shoulders back away from the spine. And exhale, breathe. Working into the backs of the legs here. Working into the glutes maybe, into the hamstrings for some of you. Into the lower back. And then on your next inhale, wherever you're on the breath cycle, looking forward, and you're going to walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Start to walk the feet in, so bend the knees as much as you need to, and gently walk those feet up to the front. We inhale, look up, halfway lift, bring the hands up to the shins or the thighs, and exhale, lower down, full forward fold. And then we inhale, coming all the way up, reaching up, stretching up, and exhale, lower those hands down by your side. Lovely. So wherever you are, you can place the hands over the heart just to feel the heart rate here, to connect with that heart. Can you feel it pumping blood, pumping energy all over the body? And then we're going to open our eyes, pick up the left foot and step at about a 3 foot, 4 foot distance back onto the mat. So you're going to come into warrior 2. So we're making sure that that left foot is facing the side of the mat and the right foot is facing the front of the mat. So it should be at about a 90-degree angle here. And then we're going to inhale, bring those hands up, shoulder height distance. Exhale, start to bend that front right knee. So you want the knee to be threading over the ankle, over those toes. Deep inhale here, deep exhale, look over that right hand. Spreading the hands wide in both directions. Someone's pulling both your hands So you want to think of the arms re-engaged here, the muscles working. Think of that left foot grounding back down. Deep inhale here, deep exhale, belly button towards the spine. Deep inhale, deep exhale. I was doing Warrior 2, this pose, Vajrasana 2, in a class during the week, and we were holding it for quite a long time, and I could really feel my arms working. And it's amazing, where our arms are just out, we're just holding them, and we can feel the muscles working. So deep inhale here, deep exhale. And then on our next inhale, we're going to turn the right palm of the hand up to face the ceiling. And we're going to exhale, bring that left hand back towards the left leg. And inhale, the right hand goes up towards the ceiling. Maybe this is enough for you here. Maybe on your next inhale, you bring the hand back a little bit further. So reverse warrior here. Deep inhale, and on your next exhale, coming back up to warrior 2. And we'll do that again, going through gentle flow. Inhale, the right palm faces the ceiling. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, reaching that hand up into the ceiling. And then exhale, maybe goes back a little bit further. And then we inhale, coming all the way back up to warrior 2. Stretching up, stretching out. This time, we're going to go into a nice side angle, extended side angle pose. So you might want to step that left foot out a little bit further. You're bringing your right elbow towards the top of the right thigh, just above the knee, and that left hand stretches up above you. So you want to think of a straight line from the top of the left fingers to the left toes. Deep inhale here, and deep exhale, maybe bending that right foot a little bit more, that right knee a little bit further. Remembering that left shoulder away from the ear. Deep inhale here, and deep exhale. And then on your next inhale, bringing that left hand up towards the ceiling, it pulls you back up to warrior 2. We're going to straighten that front right knee here. Inhale, ground down. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. And then we're coming into a triangle pose. Trikonasana. So we're going to inhale, someone's pulling that right hand towards the right hand side, stretching. And then exhale, windmill the arms so the right hand comes down towards the right shin. Left arm is reaching up into the sky. And then maybe your gaze here is down towards the foot or out in center towards me or up to the ceiling towards that left hand. Deep inhale here, deep exhale, ground down into those legs. You really want to think of rotating the ribs. So if you think of someone who has got their hands either side of your ribs, and then gently helping you to twist or to turn. One final breath here, deep inhale, exhale, ground down, and then inhale, that left hand helps to pull you all the way back up to center. Once you're here, place those hands on the hips. Turn the right foot in towards the left, so we've got both feet facing in towards the center. Bring the heels out towards the sides, and we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold here. So we inhale, look up towards the ceiling to begin with. If you've got any sciatica, any leg issues, have a micro bend in those knees. Inhale, look up, and then exhale, start to fold forward. Stop halfway. Gently see how you're feeling, check in with the body. Maybe this is enough for some of you. Deep inhale, and then exhale, maybe some of you go a little bit further. You can keep the hands on the hips, or if you like, if you want to do any variation of this pose, you can place the hands on the mat, on the thighs, on the shins, or maybe on those toes. Release the head, so making sure there's no tension there, the crown of the head is reaching down. Deep inhale, making space, and then exhale, see if you can go a little bit further. Working on that stretch. For some of you, if you have a wall beside you and you're working on this, I'm just going to turn around to show you. It's the same thing, but you're using the wall. So deep inhale, and then exhale, start to walk your hands down the wall, and the wall just helps for a little bit more support. So just working whatever variation of the pose you have, or if you have a chair, you can do the same there. See if you can go a little bit further. Inhale, making space, and then exhale, going a little bit deeper into the pose. Next inhale, I want you to come up halfway. Exhale, put those hands back to the hips if they're not there already. And then inhale, coming all the way up. This time now, we're going to turn the left foot out to the left-hand side. So the left foot is facing the top or the bottom of the mat, the short side of the mat, and the right foot is facing the long side. Maybe bringing that heel in a little bit so we're at a 90-degree angle here. And then we're going to start to bend that left knee, so we're coming into our warrior two on the other side. Inhale those hands up, shoulder height distance. Exhale, ground down in the legs, and inhale, look over that left hand. Deep breaths here. Maybe take a minute, see if you need to adjust your feet, if you need to bring the legs wider or closer together. Make yourself comfortable in a way, but we're also working the body, so it might not be too extra comfortable. Deep inhale here, deep exhale, making sure that knee is going over the ankle, threading over the feet. Grounding down on that back left foot, strong arms pulling in both directions. For some of us, we might be gone too far forward, so we want to bring the trunk or the center of the body back to center, and then arms pulling both directions. Inhale, turn the left palm of the hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the right leg. Inhale, that left hand reaches up, and maybe this is enough for some of you, or maybe exhale, go a little bit further, reverse warrior. Holding here, deep inhale, deep exhale, grounding down. And then on your next inhale, coming back to warrior two, left hand goes forward, right hand comes up. I'm going to do that again. So inhale, left palm faces up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right hand down towards the right leg. Inhale, reaching that left arm up. And then maybe this is enough, or maybe exhaling, going a little bit further, reverse warrior, deepening the pose. And then on your next inhale, so if you have your own breath cycle going on, that's fine, just breathe. Next inhale, we come back up to warrior two. Once we're here, we're coming into extended side angle pose. So we're bringing that left elbow towards the left thigh, above the knee. We're bringing that right hand up into the ceiling, reaching up. Deep inhale here, deep exhale. Maybe your gaze is looking out to the center, maybe looking up towards that right hand. Grounding down into the outside of the back foot. And then making sure as well that that left knee is not rolling in too much. So maybe using that elbow to ground down into the left leg, making sure it's going in the right direction. On your next inhale, reaching that left hand up, coming all the way back up to warrior two. And then straighten that front left leg. We're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle here. So deep inhale, start to go forward in the left direction where someone's pulling that left hand. And then exhale, windmill the arms so the left hand comes down towards the shins and the right arm goes up towards the ceiling. And then for some of you, looking towards the center, for others, looking up towards that right hand. So wherever that left hand goes, it can stay there, or it goes there, if that makes sense. So for some of you, that left hand might reach down towards the toes, towards the mat. It might be on the shin. It might be just on the thighs. In Trikonasana, triangle, you want to think again of someone having their hands on your ribs, and they're gently rotating to open up towards the ceiling. This might be quite intense for some of you. Remembering that belly button to spine connection to protect yourself. Deep inhale here, exhale, ground down, and on your next inhale, pulling that right hand all the way back up. Turn that left foot in towards the center, hands come down onto your hips, and then you can jump the feet together or start to zigzag the feet in towards the center. Lovely. Shake the whole body out, give everything a little shake. And then coming to the front of your mat, we're coming into a chair pose. So if you want to have the feet about hip-width distance apart, if you have a book or a block of cushion, it's good to just feel those thighs working. So you want to make sure that the knees aren't rolling in together. You want to make sure, pretend there's a block there, even if you don't have one. And we're going to inhale those hands up, bend the knees, sit down into your chair. Maybe the hands are just out in front of you. Look down at the toes and make sure you can still see them. So your knees are not going all the way over toes. Deep inhale here, deep exhale. Maybe you're working on those hands going up, looking up towards the hands. Maybe you're working on sitting a little bit deeper into the chair. One more inhale, make space, belly button towards the spine. And then exhale those hands all the way down by the sides of the legs. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Uttanasana, forward fold. And then we're bringing ourselves, so maybe left leg first into a tabletop position, comes down to tabletop. Right leg into tabletop. And then bringing the feet together, bringing the knees as wide as the mat, come down to a child's pose. So feet, hips go down towards the heels or bum towards the heels. Hands can be out in front of you. Maybe for some of you, you want to place a cushion just on top of the feet. Maybe you want to have another cushion or a block underneath the head. So child's pose is a great posture if we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed at any stage. It's also great for the back and the hips. So tuning into the breath if you've lost it. See if you can slow the mind, slow the breath. Inhale now, looking up between those hands, and start to walk the hands a little bit closer towards those knees. Coming up into a tabletop again, and just fixing the legs here, making sure that the hips are above the knees, hands underneath the shoulders. Again, for some of you, you might want to use a blanket or a cushion underneath those knees. Just doing whatever works for you. Now we're coming into another twist. So we're going to bring our right hand towards our left. We've done this before for some of you who've joined me. We're inhaling that left hand up, stretching up towards the ceiling, opening up. Exhaling, removing that hand, threading the needle underneath the right armpit or in between the right hand and the legs, looking up. Inhaling, coming back, opening up, opening out, twisting up. Exhaling, threading through. Gentle flow here, going with the breath. Inhaling, opening up, stretching out, and exhaling, threading that arm through. One more time, we inhale, open up, stretch out, go with your own breath. And then exhale, just lower that hand back down towards the mat beside the right. This time we're bringing our right hand out and bringing the left hand towards the right. So we're doing the same on the other side. So we bring our right hand up to the sky, opening up, inhale, and then exhale, threading that arm through. Inhale, opening up, stretching out, twisting the spine one way, and then exhale, threading that hand through, threading the needle, twisting the spine the other direction. Inhale, reaching up, reaching out, opening, and exhale, threading that hand through. One more time, we inhale, reach up, stretch up, and then we exhale, bring the hand back towards the mat. Left hand comes out, shake the hips to the right and left, and then gently bring those hips or your bum back towards the heels. Roll over to one side and bring the legs out in front of you. So legs out in front here, and again, for some of you, you might want to sit on that cushion. I want you to bend the knees up here. So we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So have those knees nice and bent, toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And we want to work on keeping a straight spine here today. So we don't want to have this happen where the shoulders are folding in, we're all crunched up in the spine. So if that means that you only go as far as here, then we'll just work with that today. So deep inhale, lift those hands up, stretch up. And then exhale, start to forward fold. And again, just going wherever you go today, maybe the hands come towards the mat then, or the hands underneath the thighs, or maybe the hands reach towards the feet. Wherever those hands go to, if you want to hold here, you're breathing deeply into the stretch. For some of you, you might want to start to walk those feet out to straighten the legs, working on the stretch here. So you're just working wherever you are today. Close down those eyes and don't focus too much on how it looks to yourself. Just focus on how it feels. Deep inhale and deep exhale, going a little bit further. So with yoga, we want no pain and no strain. So you want to find the balance. You're not working too hard where you're creating stress in the body or tension, but you're not chilling out either. So you're finding the balance. Inhale, making space. Exhale, stretching a little bit further. You do want to get that nice stretch in the hamstrings today. Maybe in the back, wherever you're feeling it. And then inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring the hands back towards the mat and start to walk your body or yourself up. Letting go of that cushion. Start to bring yourself down onto the mat. Lower the elbows down, back down. And then once you're here, just start to windmill the legs from side to side. Really gently, really easy, releasing any tension in the body. Once you're ready, bringing those feet back to neutral. Bring the heels as close to the bum as you can. And we're going to go up into a gentle bridge. So if you want to watch for a second, you can inhale, start to roll the pelvis up off the mat, lifting the spine, working through the legs, pressing up. And then holding here for a few breaths. When you're ready, exhaling down. So we'll try that together. Pressing down into those feet. Inhale, start to tilt the pelvis, belly button towards the spine, lifting the spine up away from the mat. Nice and slow. And once you're up here, pressing into those legs. For some of us, the legs have a tendency to open out. So imagining that you have a block or a brick in between the thighs, the inner thighs. We're working those legs to keep them together. Deep inhale here, lift a little bit higher. And deep exhale, ground down into those feet. Maybe for some of you, you're rolling the shoulders underneath to clasp the hands, interlock those hands underneath the back. Maybe for some of you, this is enough. Deep inhale here, and on your next exhale, lowering that back, the spine slowly back down onto the mat. Once it's down, windmill wiper the legs, windmill wiper. It's like a tongue twister. Windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. Nice and easy. And then gently bring those legs in towards your chest and give those legs a big hug. Maybe rocking from side to side, gently circling the body. Gentle circles. Massaging the back of the spine. And then gently preparing for your final Shavasana. This is quite a short class today. You're reaching those legs out, hands, palms facing up, maybe grabbing a cushion underneath your head, maybe having a blanket over you, just making yourself nice and comfy for your final Shavasana or resting pose. So if you want to take a long Shavasana or a short one maybe, you can turn me off now, you can say goodbye. If not, we're just going to hold on for a few more minutes. So making sure you're closing down the eyes here, letting the whole body relax. Deep inhale, and then exhale, maybe opening the mouth and letting out the air. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And then scanning the body, coming out of the practice the same way you came in. How's the head feeling? Can you release any more tension from the jaw, from the teeth, from the neck? Can you imagine someone has their hands on your shoulders, massaging them gently down into the mat, away from the ears? Thinking of the elbows and the hands. Relaxing each finger and your thumb. Thinking of the belly rising and falling. The amazing organs inside there, helping us to live every single day. Digestive system, we twist and turned today to detoxify, massaging all those internal organs. Going down into the hips now. I've been doing quite a lot of cycling, so I can feel it in my hips. Maybe quite a lot of walking, you feel it in the back of your hamstrings and the legs. See if you can massage them or think of someone massaging them. They're melting down into the mat, completely relaxing. The shins, the feet, the ankles. Completely letting go for just a breath or two. So I have a poem that I'm going to read you out to finish our practice today, and it's called Don't Quit. So when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. Really easily now, start to wiggle the fingers, start to wiggle the toes. Bring your awareness back into the room, gently turn to your right hand side. And then easily start to push yourself up to a seated position. Maybe cross-legged, maybe legs out in front, whatever's comfortable, and that might be different for all of us. And just bringing the hands to the center of the chest now. Bowing your head down towards those hands. Thanking yourself for practice today. Being kind to yourself. Namaste, everyone. And thank you so much for coming to practice with me.
Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.